What if I told you that love is not found in flowers or filtered photos, but in the quiet strength of a consistent presence, that it's not about how loud someone says I love you, but how faithfully they live it out? In a world full of noise, broken promises, and fleeting emotions, we're going to uncover the truth, the real, raw, powerful signs of love that go beyond the surface. Today's message isn't just for the heartbroken or the hopeful. It's for every soul searching for something real. If you've ever doubted how to tell if he truly loves you, if his actions match his intentions, if you're seen, valued, and safe, then you need to hear this. Stay with me until the very end, because what you'll discover today isn't based on fairy tales. It's built on wisdom, awareness, and the courage to raise your standards. Real love doesn't confuse, it confirms. And once you understand these truths, you won't settle for anything less. Love is not declared with the loudest voice. It is confirmed in the quiet repetition of consistent action. Anyone can say the right words. Words are cheap. They are easy to throw around in the heat of emotion, in the convenience of the moment. But action, steady, thoughtful, unwavering action, is costly. It requires effort. It requires presence. It requires alignment between what someone says and what they actually do. A man who truly loves you will not leave you confused about where you stand. He will not make you guess his intentions. His consistency will become your confidence. He shows up not only when it benefits him, but also when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, or even sacrificial. That's where love stops being a sentiment and starts becoming a commitment. It doesn't rush in with promises and disappear in pressure. Instead, it builds day by day, moment by moment, like bricks laid with purpose, constructing something solid, something lasting. True love reveals itself in the small, unnoticed acts, the kind that most people overlook. He remembers your needs without being told. He supports your goals without making them about himself, and he follows through even when it's easier to fall back. This kind of man doesn't manipulate with silence, nor does he disappear when emotions run high. Instead, he leans in, he listens, he adjusts, he keeps showing up, not for applause, not for recognition, but because the connection matters more to him than his convenience. This kind of consistency is rare because it requires maturity, and maturity is the foundation of true love. He's not trying to impress you for a moment. He's trying to build with you for a lifetime, and if he falls short, he owns it. He doesn't deflect, he corrects. That's the mark of a man whose love isn't performative, but authentic. This is how you know he loves you, not because he says you're the one, but because he lives like you are. You know he loves you when he creates emotional safety, not confusion. Love that is true does not toy with your mind or pull your heart in conflicting directions. It does not leave you guessing, questioning, or doubting your worth. Real love builds a space where your emotions are welcome and your voice is heard. A man who loves you will not use silence as a punishment or passive aggression as a weapon. Instead, he will communicate with honesty and clarity, not just to be understood, but to make sure you feel understood. Emotional safety means you can express your fears without feeling foolish, your dreams without being dismissed, and your pain without being minimized. In this kind of love, vulnerability is not something to be feared. It is something to be honored. Emotional safety is the soil in which intimacy grows. It is not just about feeling good all the time, but about knowing you can be your full self without being judged or abandoned. He won't mock your sensitivity or criticize your insecurities. Instead, he will protect them with tenderness, because he recognizes that the heart he is holding is not just precious, it is sacred. A man who loves you will choose peace over ego. He will not escalate tension for the sake of control or win arguments at the cost of your dignity. He listens deeply, even when he doesn't agree, because he values the relationship more than being right. This level of emotional intelligence isn't a bonus, it's a requirement for real love, and when disagreements arise, as they always do, he leans in, not away. He does not disappear behind distractions or excuses. He stays in the room, emotionally present and committed to resolution. That is how you know his love is rooted in character, not convenience. Emotional safety doesn't mean perfection, it means protection of your heart, your boundaries, and your trust. In this space, love breathes freely and grows deeply, and your soul begins to feel what it was always meant to feel: safe, seen, and secure. That is when you know he truly loves you. You know he loves you when he includes you in his future without hesitation or evasion. A man who truly loves you is not afraid of commitment. He welcomes it with intention. His words align with his actions, and his plans include your presence not as an afterthought, but as a priority. He does not speak vaguely about what's to come. Instead, he says we instead of I, ours instead of mine. You can see your reflection in the architecture of his vision, not because you demanded a place in it, but because he offered it willingly. Love that is real does not run from tomorrow. It builds toward it, step by step, decision by decision, day by day. When a man loves you, he takes deliberate steps to make you feel secure in the path you're walking together. He does not leave your heart in suspense, wondering if you are temporary or permanent. There's a peace that begins to settle over you when someone loves with clarity, because there is no game being played, no clock being watched, no exit being quietly prepared. You're not guessing what his intentions are. You know them because he lives them out in the way he makes room for you. That's what mature love looks like. It plans, it prepares, it protects. It doesn't delay truth for convenience or hide fears behind indecision. A man who includes you in his future is not perfect, but he is purposeful. He shows his love by sharing his dreams and inviting you to shape them with him. He wants your thoughts, your influence, your presence. He doesn't treat the future like a secret garden you can only visit occasionally. He hands you the key because in his heart you're already home. He may not have everything figured out, but he's sure of one thing: you're the one he wants to figure life out with. This kind of love does not hesitate in the face of uncertainty. It stands firm in faith, choosing to move forward not because everything is guaranteed, but because love gives him the courage to build a future with you in it. That is how you know it's real. You know he loves you when he protects your heart even in your absence. Love is not only what someone does in front of you, it's revealed in what they choose when no one is watching. A man who truly loves you doesn't need supervision to honor you. His loyalty is not dependent on your proximity. He doesn't entertain temptation, disrespect, or questionable behavior when you're not around. He protects your name in rooms you're not in. He guards the integrity of the relationship like it's sacred, because to him it is. Real love honors boundaries because it recognizes value, and when a man sees your worth, he will protect it like a treasure he's been entrusted to steward. When a man loves you, he is mindful of your emotions, even in conflict. He doesn't use your vulnerabilities as weapons, doesn't twist your words to win an argument, and doesn't allow pride to outrank compassion. He sees your heart as something fragile and fierce at the same time, and he treats it with both respect and reverence. His love shows up not just when it's convenient, but especially when it's hard. When disagreements arise, he doesn't walk away to punish you with silence. He leans in to understand, because protecting your heart also means protecting the peace between you. It means choosing resolution over ego. It means loving you not just in emotion, but in principle. His love doesn't fluctuate based on moods or momentary circumstances. He doesn't play games to test your loyalty. He's consistent because he understands that love is a covenant, not a contract. His heart stays true even when life gets messy or uncertain. He doesn't create reasons for you to feel insecure, and he doesn't allow outside voices to dictate how he values you. He protects the relationship by choosing it daily, through words, actions, and decisions that say, "You matter to me," even when it's inconvenient. This is what separates infatuation from love, a protective posture that seeks your best not just emotionally, but spiritually and mentally. That is the kind of love that doesn't waver. It's the kind of love that speaks when you're not in the room, that acts with integrity when you're not watching, and that remains rooted even when tested. When you see that kind of protection, you don't need to ask if he loves you. You already know. You know he loves you when he invests in your growth, not just your comfort. Love that is real does not settle for shallow connection. It wants to see you rise, thrive, and become everything you're meant to be. A man who loves you isn't intimidated by your strength. He's inspired by it. He doesn't compete with your purpose. He champions it. He doesn't silence your voice. He celebrates it. His presence in your life doesn't shrink you. It expands you. He asks you what you dream of, what you're afraid of, and what keeps you up at night. Not because he's curious, but because he cares. He studies you, not to control you, but to understand how to walk with you in purpose and partnership. Love that wants you to grow does not idolize comfort. It's willing to have the hard conversations, to challenge blind spots, to hold up a mirror when necessary, not to shame you, but to sharpen you. A man who truly loves you will tell you the truth even when it's uncomfortable, because he values your development over your temporary approval. He sees your potential not as a threat to his identity, but as part of his calling to help protect and cultivate it. He doesn't need you to dim your light to feel significant. He builds alongside you. He makes room for your greatness without losing his own. This kind of love doesn't cling, it releases. It doesn't control, it empowers. When a man is invested in your growth, he also checks himself. He recognizes that to love you well, he must also be growing. He seeks wisdom, not just information. He chases character, not just charisma. He doesn't just bring good intentions, he brings fruit. He wants you to become all that God created you to be, and he wants to rise with you, not stand in the way. He believes in what's inside of you and walks with humility, knowing that love is not about fixing, it's about supporting. So if he is pushing you to grow, not out of pressure, but out of love, not from pride, but from vision, then know this: you are seen, valued, and deeply loved. You know he loves you when he chooses consistency over chaos. Love isn't just about grand gestures or poetic promises. It's about the everyday decisions to show up, stay present, and stand steady when life is anything but. In a world where people are often ruled by their moods and chase after fleeting emotions, real love is revealed in reliability. It doesn't disappear when things get difficult. It doesn't withdraw when you need it most. A man who loves you doesn't leave you guessing. He brings clarity through consistency. His words match his actions. His pursuit doesn't waver when the excitement wears off. He is who he says he is, day in and day out, not just when it's convenient or romantic. Consistency means he chooses you again and again, not just when you're at your best, but when you're tired, frustrated, growing, or struggling. He doesn't use your flaws against you. He doesn't weaponize silence or absence to control you. He leans in when others might walk away, because love is not just how someone feels, it's how they behave. And when that behavior is marked by consistency, it builds safety, and safety is the soil where real love grows. There's no fear of abandonment, no anxious wondering if you're enough, no roller coaster of uncertainty that leaves you drained and doubting. Love rooted in consistency gives you the freedom to be fully yourself. When a man is consistent, you learn to trust not only him, but also the love you're building together. You stop bracing for disappointment and start breathing in security. He's not trying to impress you with moments. He's trying to build something that lasts. That kind of love doesn't demand perfection, it simply refuses to vanish, and that refusal is what makes it powerful, because when storms come, and they always do, you won't find him gone, you'll find him grounded. A consistent man communicates with his presence, not just his promises. He shows that love isn't a sprint. It's a steady walk, one step at a time, even when the path is hard. And in that kind of love, you find peace. Real love is never hidden in confusion. It is made visible through intention, clarity, and action. If you must constantly explain your worth, question his motives, or wonder where you stand, then you're not standing in love, you're standing in uncertainty. But love, the kind that builds futures and withstands storms, is not elusive. It is disciplined, it is devoted, it shows up, it tells the truth, and then it proves that truth day after day. He loves you not because he says it once under the stars, but because he lives it when life is messy, when emotions fluctuate, and when commitment requires more than charm, it requires character. You'll know he loves you when peace surrounds you more than pressure, when your spirit grows in his presence rather than shrinks, when he protects your heart with the same vigilance that he protects his own ambition. Love is not a gamble, it's an investment. And if a man is not willing to sow into your soul with time, honor, and faithfulness, he is not building love, he's borrowing emotion. Don't mistake attention for affection. Don't mistake pursuit for purpose. Don't settle for almost when God has designed a love that reflects his own nature, strong, sacrificial, and steadfast. Thank you for giving your time, your heart, and your ears to this message. I don't take it lightly. If this message brought clarity or strength to you, share it with someone who needs the same reminder. Subscribe for more truth, more wisdom, and more conversations that help you love deeper and live higher. And remember, you are worthy of a love that doesn't confuse but confirms. Keep your standards high and your heart open. God bless you.